One prompt, 60 seconds, a fully functional mobile app built by the world's most talked about AI coding assistant. But the real question isn't if it works, it's how well it works. Let's break it down.
Okay, so here's the master prompt I gave it. It's detailed. I asked for a mobile-first UI, vanilla.js, inputs, a list, and a running total. The goal? A complete expense tracker from a single command. Here is the prompt. Create a complete single-file HTML web app for a simple expense tracker. Use modern vanilla JavaScript. The UI should be clean, minimalist, and mobile-first. It must have 1. A text input for the expense description, 2. A number input for the amount, 3. An add expense button, 4. A list that displays each expense with its description and amount, 5. A running total of all expenses displayed prominently at the bottom.
All right. I'm giving Gemini a prompt to create a complete expense tracker from scratch. Okay, you can see it thinking, building the HTML, structuring the CSS, now the JavaScript logic, and here's the code it generated. Wow, it's all here in one file, just as I asked. HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript at the bottom. Okay, let's copy this and see if it actually works. Over to VS Code, I'll make a quick index.html file and just paste it all in. Impressed, a quick scroll shows it looks solid, even using modern features. All right, moment of truth. Let's open it up. And there it is! Looks really clean. Let's check the mobile view. Yep, perfectly responsive. Focused. Time for the real test. Let's go with coffee for $5. Works. Now lunch for $15. Look at that! The total updates perfectly. Honestly, I'm shocked. It saved the state in local storage. It even handled the formatting with the $sign. It got all of this right on the first try. This is version 1.0 built by AI in under a minute. That's just incredible.
All right, so the app works, but it's not complete. What if you make a mistake? You need a way to delete items. Let's go back to AI Studio and see if we can get it to add that feature for us. I'm not going to give it the code again. I'll just ask it to modify its previous work. My prompt is, this is excellent. Now, let's add a feature. Modify the code to include a delete button next to each expense item. When clicked, it should remove that specific item, update the total, and update the data in local storage. Okay, let's run that. And just like before, it's thinking through the steps, analyzing the request, planning the code changes, and it's already done. Here's the new complete file. Let's copy this, head back to VS Code, and replace all the old code with this new version. I'll just paste it right in. A quick look shows it's added new CSS for a delete button, and more importantly, it's using a data ID and event delegation in the JavaScript. That's a really clean and efficient way to handle this. All right, moment of truth. Let's add coffee for $5 and lunch for $15. And there are the new delete buttons. Let's try clicking one. And it's gone. The total updated. Let's get rid of the other. And it works perfectly. That's incredible. It understood the context and iteratively added a new feature flawlessly. One more thing. Let's make it feel premium. A truly polished app needs some subtle animations. Let's give the AI one final, more complex challenge. My prompt is amazing. For the final touch, add a subtle CSS fade-in animation for new items added to the list and a fade-out animation when an item is deleted. And let's run that. Now, this is a much trickier request. It can't just remove the item immediately, it has to play an animation first. It's breaking down the logic, and in its output, it even explains the key changes, how it will use CSS keyframes and update the JavaScript to handle the timing. Okay, it's generated the final code. I'll copy this, head back to VS Code, and replace everything with our new animated version. A quick scan of the code shows it added @keyframes for both a fade-in and a fade-out effect. All right, let's open the live preview and see it in action. Let's add our first item, coffee for $5. And look at that, a nice fade-in effect. Let's add lunch for $15. It fades in beautifully. The app feels so much more responsive and professional now. Let's add one more, tea for $5. Now for the fade out. Let's delete tea, and it smoothly fades away before disappearing. Now lunch, and finally coffee. Perfect. From a simple idea to a fully functional animated web app in just a few minutes. This is now version 2.0, built entirely through iterative prompts. The speed and quality here are just phenomenal. So, what's the final verdict after all of that? We went from a simple idea to a fully functional, polished, and animated web app in just a few minutes, using nothing but a series of plain English prompts. Honestly, the result wasn't shocking because it failed or because it produced buggy code that I had to spend ages fixing, which is what many people might expect. It was shocking because it succeeded so well on the very first try at every single step. It proves that AI isn't just a simple tool to fix things or write a small snippet of code. It's a powerful junior developer that can build a solid, well-structured foundation for you. It used modern CSS, vanilla JavaScript, and efficient techniques like event delegation without me even having to specify them. Our role as developers is shifting. We become the architects, the ones who can direct and perfect the work it creates. This technology lets us focus on the bigger picture, accelerating our workflow in a way that was unimaginable just a few years ago. If you want to try this app yourself, I've put the final working source code up on my website for free. The link is in the description. Now, intrigued? If AI can build an app this well, can it pass a real Google Coding Assistant interview? That's the challenge for our next video. Click the screen to find out. And thanks for geeking out with me.